Hi everyone, I'm attorney Minhas and I practice U.S. immigration law. I've helped many clients all over the United States and overseas in their immigration matter. Today's topic is going to be about the adjustment of status interview questions for asylum grants. Now I know there's not that much content out there for this. I wanted to come up with this informational video to educate you, or if you can pass this along to someone you know, it might help them out. We're going to cover today's topic in 4 segments. The first one is going to be about what to expect. Then we're going to move on to the type of questions that may be asked at your interview if you're going in for your adjustment of status for the asylum grant. I'm also going to give you some tips for future individuals who already received their green cards. And finally, if you have any type of issues, when you should get on the phone or reach out to an experienced immigration attorney to assist you, to guide you, to prepare you. We're going to cover those 4 things today. Let's talk about what to expect at the interview. So before I jump into that, I do want to mention that this might not apply to everyone. There is a possibility that if someone has applied for adjustment of status based on an asylum grant, that interview might get waived. If the officer is satisfied with all of the information that was provided and the evidence to support that application, then the interview might get waived and that person may receive their green card in the mail and not even have to sit in front of an officer for an interview. So this is really focusing on those who have an interview coming up or might get scheduled for an interview based on whatever reason that might be. So do expect that this interview may take anywhere from 15 minutes to up to 2 hours. But you want to prepare for the worst. So you can prepare for something that might take 2 hours. And the officer may go over the adjustment of status application that you filed in order to get your green card. The officer might even ask you to update your medicals. That could be a possibility because these type of adjustment of status claims do take a long time. Recently, I had a client, it took him more than 2 years to even get an interview. So yeah, it's a possibility that the medical might have expired and then you need to reproduce that. So that's something that you might need. The officer might also ask you questions related to your asylum claim. So if the asylum claim was made before an immigration judge or you won your asylum before USCIS in an affirmative asylum matter, then that claim that you made which led to your grant, they might revisit that. So that's a possibility too. What else to expect? So they might even just sit down with you to verify who you are. They want to make sure that you're the same person that applied for this benefit and they just want to verify your information. So do go in with all of your original documents and definitely carry the original I-94 that you received, which has a stamp on it that you got asylum indefinitely, the asylum approval notice, and documents from your original asylum claim that was filed years ago or at the time that you won your asylum. You want to make sure you have everything. And if anything has changed, you have the opportunity at the interview to update the officer about any changes that have happened. So that's what you can expect. Now let's cover the issues that you might have in your claim, in your case, or issues that might arise either after your asylum grant or while you applied for your adjustment of status to get the green card, or even after and before you get your interview. If you are someone that was arrested, and I'm not talking about being detained at the border, I'm talking about getting arrested in the United States, or if you failed to disclose an arrest outside of the United States, you want to sit down with an experienced immigration attorney to go over that arrest, the conviction, the charge, everything, to see whether you are adjustable. So that's where things can get complex. So if you haven't filed for adjustment of status yet because you're not sure, then this is the time to schedule a consultation in a private setting with an experienced immigration attorney to help you. Other things that might arise related, like issues that might come up is, I know some people do this and some might not do it intentionally, but it has come up many times. Um, some individuals travel back to their home country where they stated that they are afraid to return. If that's someone that you know, or if it's you yourself who's done that and you have an interview coming up, or you're in the process of applying for adjustment of status, pick up the phone and speak to an experienced immigration attorney. Schedule that consultation as soon as possible because you might run into issues there. That is something that is very alarming. It is not recommended that someone travel to their home country that they're stating that they're afraid to return to. It becomes a big complex issue, and the officer may ask questions about that and that might impact your case. So that's something that you should be highly aware of. And another issue that you might face is things have probably changed. Situations could get better in your home country, and you just want to make sure you sit down with someone to really get an understanding of why you really can't go back. And it is something that might come up at the interview. You just never know. Like I stated, it can take anywhere from 15 minutes to up to 2 hours. And 2 hours is a very, very long time if you're in that constant mode of being questioned about what's going to happen. And that question can be squeezed in there. So those are some issues you might want to really focus on. And then if you see that you might have those issues, then definitely reach out to an immigration attorney. Now let's cover the section which you all have been patiently waiting for, and that's what type of questions the interviewing officer may ask someone who's going in to adjust their status based on an asylum grant. So one of the questions might be, well, why can't you relocate to a different part of your home country? Why are you still afraid to go back? Has anything changed since the time you were granted your asylum, or even while you applied for your adjustment of status? Have things gotten better? Are you still being threatened? And some questions also might revolve around the actual claim. So you want to make sure you have your evidence, your statement, your actual application, everything ready with you in possession to review, because it might have been such a long time until you filed for the adjustment of status and the interview came up maybe 2 years down the line. And now you're like, wait a second, it's been so long. Let me just go, refresh my recollection and just go over the documents to see, okay, did I miss anything? Did I forget something? And you're okay to do that, right? I mean, it's been such a long time. It's something that you probably want to forget because it was a horrifying moment in your life. So it might be something related to your asylum claim itself. And the officer might even ask you, are you still a member of a certain political party? And they might even ask you, are you still part of that political party? And if you are, what are you doing affiliated with that party here in the United States? Are you active on social media related to that political party? Are you still holding that position even though you're here? And if you stop being a member of that party, when did it stop? When did you join? What happened to you in your home country that led you to come here? Have you passed by any other countries while in your journey to the United States? And how long did you spend in those countries? It really would be wise, if you do have an interview coming up, to schedule a consultation with an experienced immigration attorney, or to schedule a preparation. You want to make sure that that attorney is familiar with your claim. If it's not the original attorney that assisted you in the asylum grant, and later on you want to hire another attorney to accompany you to the interview or help you prepare for the interview, then it would be wise to reach out in advance, because it's a lot of evidence they have to review. It's a lot of information that you will have to, go through, probably set up like a mock preparation to get yourself ready. So definitely recommended to get yourself an immigration attorney to assist you if you're nervous or you're not sure what to expect at the interview. Last but not least, I have some helpful tips. If you need an interpreter and you're not comfortable in speaking in the English language, it is recommended that you get one. But you want to make sure that the interpreter is someone that meets the USCIS guidelines. You can get that information from their website. If you feel more comfortable speaking in your native language, then it is recommended that you take an interpreter with you, and then it is up to the interviewing officer whether to use that interpreter or not. And like I stated, it's not just anybody you can take with you. It has to be someone that is professional and that meets the USCIS guidelines. I have another helpful tip for those of you who already got your green card through the adjustment of status and you are now preparing for citizenship. So if you're preparing for citizenship, everything is fair game. What does that mean? That means that if you applied for asylum, received the grant, ultimately were able to get yourself adjusted to a green card, and now you are eligible to file for citizenship, the interviewing officer for the citizenship interview may ask you questions related to that asylum claim. So when I say everything is fair game, you have to be ready just in case if there are questions related to that claim, or is there something similar that happened at your adjustment of status interview related to that asylum claim. Those type of questionings can come up, and for that, you may need to reach out to an immigration attorney to really prepare yourself for the citizenship interview, because it's not just asking the questions and showing that you're a person of good moral character. They just want to make sure that your claim is legitimate. So it's their job, and when it depends on the interviewing officer what type of questions they want to ask you and whether they want to go back into your immigration history and start pulling out questions to see whether that information that you provided in the past matches and that it's verified, that it's honest and truthful. And that's just something I wanted to give you a heads up on. Thank you for watching today's video. I hope today's topic was helpful. And I just wanted to remind you that please subscribe if you haven't. Please hit the bell icon to stay updated on anything I post on U.S. immigration law, and share it with your friends and family because you never know who this might help. And please utilize the comment section, but make sure your questions are general in nature. If it's specific to your case, it is not recommended that you provide all your information in the comment section. It's public. You need to set up a private consultation, and that can be done by sending me an email or picking up the phone to call me. And again, thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.